Have you ever felt like taking a break from life just to head off? Well, lucky for you, I've spent the last whole week and spent generational wealth just to do that. Not only do I have all this gear, but I have the most basic and essential mods to turn my vehicle into an adventure machine. Besides these essential mods, I have the most simple camping gear I need to live on the back of my vehicle. And with all this gear, I aim to hit the road for a week. And with a map of Australia, who knows where these adventures will take us. First off, we'll be fitting all the mods, giving the bike a quick service before organising all this gear so I'm ready to hit the road at a moment's notice. Let's start off with some mods. So I've got the base for practicality and comfort. Here we've got some footpeg lowering mounts so I can have a better riding position. Heavy duty case saver to save my engine. And here's a USB charging setup using a merit socket I can wire up. Here we have some Pro Taper bars to increase riding comfort, position and look, and some bar raisers to go with. Another essential is this tail tidy kit, which is integral to the looks of the bike. Now here we have a repair kit and other tools, and a pump that doesn't even work for my bike, and some other crap that I don't need. Let's jump in by swapping these stock foot pegs to the rear and offset ones. So I already know today is going to take approximately 12.5 hours. That's why I've saved the whole day for this. Come on, get out. Needs to be straight. Yes, yes, yeah, easy. This shit's on tight. Yes, yes, get in. Yes. Right, all done on that one. It only took a little longer than expected. This one should be a bit more fun now I know what I'm doing. All right, get that final little bit in there. We're sorted. Definitely nice and lower, that's good. Got a bit more knee room. And here's the before and after. So you got the before and then you got the aftermarket rear and lowered. That's good for me. We'll see how this goes. I might have to lower the gear shifter and the brake. Another one is just swapping over the crankcase, whatever, to the case saver. Sure, they're a bit more durable and it'll save this if the chain decides to snap. Yeah, this is made of plastic. This is doing no good. Check how dirty it is in there. These strange washer things sure are annoying to get on. Now we just scrape away all the build-up here. It's quite a lot of build-up. Look at that, look how much cleaner it is. There we are, all done. It's doing much more than this plastic one is, and it's got a cool look to it as well. Now, any of you who have seen a stock motorcycle before know how absolutely ugly the rear fender can look. That's why I got the rear fender kit. This makes it more like a dirt bike fender. It's got the tail light on the bottom, not the top. Doesn't look all goofy. Like, look how far down it extends. It is not good at all. It's ridiculous. Let's get busy tearing down the bike. Look at that. Looking a bit more bare. Now my only concern is that the new fender might not fit with these rail things, the handles there, since it doesn't curve down as much. I mean, I do like having these. They're good, I can strap things onto them. Actually useful in moving the bike around, but we'll see, should be right. I've got straight up rust powder just come out of this hole. Look at that. Bit of WD-40 should fix it up for sure. Let's hope I chopped the right cable. Should be that one there. And ta-da. Let's just really hope that that was the right thing. And we're looking very bare without all this stuff on the back. It's gonna look so clean with that dirt bike rear fender. Hell yeah. Wow, so look how much bulk that does absolutely nothing just came off the bike. Insane. All because the government doesn't want you to have a bike that looks good. The government just hates people enjoying themselves and having nice things, so they gotta mandate stuff like this so that we peasants have to have bad stuff. Actually, test fit time. Check that out. Yeah, look at that. Not bad, not bad. I just figured out you don't actually have to snip the cord here. You just plug it into the factory harness. If I had have watched the actual video from the company properly, but of course I didn't. We're just getting these wires apart and then we can join in the new one. Too easy. So here we've got the sheet that comes with it, but if you can see, there's absolutely, like, what is this printer quality? You just can't see. Printed at 360p or something, it's insane. See if I can remember how to do this. Easy. It goes in this little thing and plugs in. Hold up, I absolutely butchered that first one. Good thing about wiring is if you stuff up, you just pull it apart and try again. Like if you're wiring up someone's house, you just, oh, I fucked up real bad. I mean, you can just leave it half the time, or you just like pull the bits apart. Cause it's like Lego, it's like building little Lego bits. So it's pretty nice and easy. Anyway, let's not stuff it up this time. All right, that's one done. And I'm sure the next one won't be as bad. Let's look at this quality wiring job right here. Amazing. Now we just got to work out what goes where. And we've got this very helpful diagram that I can totally read properly. So it looks like gray, which is this one, goes to yellow, white goes to red, black goes to black. If you're following on with me to do this mod to your own bike, don't even bother. They've got like the whole video. It's pretty straightforward. Like, it's just common sense, guys. Seriously. And I'll give it a bit of this tape just to be on the safe side. Amazing job, look at that. All right, that should be all wired up. Let's give it a quick test. Hopefully it doesn't just short circuit the whole bike and I have to diagnose things for half an hour. Hey, that looks like it's on. Awesome, look at that. We got brake lights as well. Check that out. Now we just take the clips out of the old fender and chuck it in the new one. Perfect. Fits on there nicely. That hole is fine. Plenty of clearance for that bolt as well. Final thing is to use the little washer they supplied. Chuck it in there. And we should be done. So there was actually almost a clearance issue, but I just ran a couple washers through here, so that should be right. That should give us a bit more wiggle room. It's not going to scratch the fender or anything. Guys, I just realized there's an impending fog of doom looming over the neighborhood. What is going on? Is this like the end of the world? That's crazy, look at that. What is going on? Check this out. All done on the tail tidy rear fender. It's looking much nicer, looks very much more clean. I mean, it's still pretty big, but I guess you can probably replace this bit anyway with something custom. Now let's get on to the real deal. Flipping over the bars, that's gonna take a large quantity of time. I already know it. Like, I've already budgeted this whole day. It's already been like a lot of hours. Let's start tearing this thing down. Oh, that's the right-hand side sorted. Now I know everyone has trouble getting these grips off, but I bought some nice WD-40, so that's gonna come off no problem, hopefully. You just prise it open with a screwdriver and then fill it up with WD-40. Only took a liter of WD-40 in 15 minutes, but look at that. What is this? They put super glue or something on it. Bars are coming off. Now here comes the fun part, trying to manage all this. Come on, please reach. It's not gonna reach. How do you do this? Like 50 cables that are all pulling the wrong direction. I just need the throttle cable, please. Yes. Look at that. It's gonna be even worse putting it together. Wow, these bars. Now I can actually compare them. A little bit more height, oh, they're not actually the same size. Gonna feel a lot more solid, and I love the way these look too. So the stock bars are all off, and we've got this one test fitted. I was figuring out whether to go this way or the other way, but it means there would be less of a gap, which I think they look better the other way, but it's fine like this. It's better to have a bit more leverage. But that's looking good. Let's start getting all the accessories and whatever nonsense you have back on the bars. Oh my gosh, how am I meant to reach this? All right, so I couldn't figure out how to get this side on with that side. So I just took out the clutch cable. All right, that one's on. Now to get the rest of everything. Anyway, the stock left button handle thing, it actually has a little divot there that it actually sits in this hole that are in this, that's in the stock bars. So I actually had to grind that out. So much little bits and things I gotta change. Please be warned, there is one on either side if you're changing your bars from stock. All right, all done. Look at that, very nice. So I just realized I need a new adapter to get the bark busters on because the bars are tapered, so it's a different width here. I'll have to go up to Bendigo again tomorrow. It just looks so much cleaner, honestly. And there's quite a lot of rise, honestly. It's very nice. Much better, I can stand a lot more comfortably. Previously I was bending over heaps. I could have gotten, these were like the normal ones, I could have gotten the raised ones. These are perfect. The cables were almost stretching too much. I'm gonna take it on a ride and see how it feels after all this work. Now, if you happen to use bark busters, you will need to spend another $65 and buy this kit so that you can mount it onto the tapered point on the bars. Now, taking into consideration, you spent 180 bucks on Pro Taper bars, you spent $50 on risers so that it actually fits, and now you have to go out and spend another $65 on some stupid bark buster mounts so that it actually fits the bars. It's starting to seem like a scam. All up, that is almost $300 you have now spent on bars. All right, so as you can see, I've got the bike all opened up, and the next little modification we're doing is fit in this little 12-volt Merit socket in the bike so I can charge accessories and stuff on the road. I've got the USB thing that plugs into it, and I've also got a little relay because we're gonna wire it up so that it only is on when the bike is on. That way it doesn't drain on my battery. Now for mounting, I was either gonna mount it on the side so I could just tuck stuff away and get them charged, or in the dash, but I think I'm going for the dash. And that way in the dash, I can charge things like my phone and any other accessories you might want to plug in there. Now for mounting, I was originally going to mount some thin plastic, do a little fabrication and bolt it on behind the speedometer. But I found this little mount that actually mounts this accessory here. So we're going to try and chop this up and make it fit somehow. That way it'll just be a bit more professional. Needs to be professional. All right, let's get this mount opened up. You can see here I've test mounted a little cardboard strip to size, and my main concern is there's not much space left on the end of that little screw. Hopefully we can make it fit. I might need to thin down this material because it is a little thick. Originally I was just gonna like throw it in the dash and zip tie it on somewhere, but I think this build, I want to make my bike a bit more long term, and if I do a proper wiring job and get it mounted up nice and tight, then it will just last a bit more long term. I don't know what these packets are made from, this plastic, especially the edge, but these are impossible to open, especially with no tools. If I was stuck in the wilderness and I had some packaged food in one of these, I would just be dying. Like, I was straight up starved before I'm opening that thing. Although I'm sure it's so that people don't bring back the products. Like they bring it back and the shop's like, oh, sorry, you've opened it already. We can't take that back. When they see the package is absolutely mold. Got our little mount, and this will go in here and screw on. And there should be just enough room to sit behind the windscreen. There we are, nice and snug little fit on that. We just need to thin it down a bit. It's too thick to fit in the mount. Luckily, I can finally use this $5 sandpaper thing that I bought from a garage sale 2 years ago. Finally coming useful. So we only need a little bit off one corner to fit. Time for some drilling. Here we are, got it nice and test fitted. But this thing actually looks pretty nice, looks pretty professional, nice and stock. There's not too much room on the end of that screw, but hopefully it'll stick on there. And here we are with the phone USB. Oh shit. Oh, there we are. Yeah, that fits all right. It's rubbing up here a little bit. Good as new. Now we just need to work out clearance for the headlight. Anyway, I had this funny dream last night. I was like on my motorbike and I was trying to go somewhere. Somehow I ended up in like one of the neighbors' front yards. It's gonna take way too long. And the thing is, it was really slippery and I think I almost dropped my bike, so I was trying to get it around. I was like spinning and slipping around. I eventually got out, I went down the road and I was like, oh shit, I don't have my helmet on. So I was like, oh, I better pull up over there on the dirt. And so I went off the road. It was like a little slippery, my brakes weren't that good. I went off the side and then there's like a bump and I went straight over the bump, straight into the ditch. I just absolutely smashed it into the ditch. And for some reason, just dream logic, I think I had my helmet on at that point and I smashed my head on the ground and absolutely just like snapped it in half because I was trying to put it on after and that shit wasn't going on. Like the straps weren't reaching and I was like, hold up, my whole helmet is like properly bent in half. I don't know, it was just a strange dream. I don't know what I was doing. I think like my bike stacked it. My helmet was like literally bent in half. And then, I don't know, that's pretty funny. Here we are with a bit of wiring work on my motorbike. While I haven't done too much, I do enjoy it. It is cool. You can just build whatever you want, really. So I'd like to do more in the future. All right, that should be done. Just need to connect it all up. Just need to join those up, and we're done. So I literally took this off. The screw dropped. I spent like the last 15 minutes trying to find the screw. It fell down this cable on the other side of the bike, right here. How ridiculous is that? It's hiding in there. Took me like 20 minutes and I was looking, I also lost my 10mm freaking spanner. Unbelievable. All right, so now the fun part of finally wiring it all together and see if it works. So we got the taillight circuit that I don't need anymore. So black should definitely be negative, and we run in negative to 85 on the relay. There we are, it's good. Positive to 86. Put my 12 volt accessory onto 87. Oh, it's almost touching. Hold on, that's not too good. It's almost touching the other ones. I'll just insulate it with some electrical tape. Now we chuck on this one, and then the fuse from the battery goes on to number 30. All right, neat little job there. Check that out. So we got battery through a 10 amp fuse to number 30. And then we got 87, comes all the way up here to the positive on the socket. And negative goes out to the battery terminal. And then we got this number plate light that I've repurposed to be the trigger for the relay. So if that's on, because that'll turn on when the bike goes on, it means it'll let current through this circuit. So that should be working. Probably not, nothing I ever make works, but we'll find out soon. All right, let's turn it on, see if it's working. Let's see. Oh yep, we got power. Nothing happened with the battery there, that's good. Let's plug in this little USB socket, see if we get anything. All right. All right, got it plugged into the little head torch here. Let's see if it's gonna work. Why is it not charging? No. Hold up. It's not charging. Second try with the power bank. No. Why is it not working? What could possibly be stopping it from working? I don't know. All right, guess what happened? It was the fuse. I think I sparked it on the battery and it cut the fuse. So my system might actually work. Let's go. Here we are. Lucky I got more than one fuse in that pack. Otherwise, that wouldn't have been good. Anyway, chuck it back in. Perfect, that fuse did come in handy. All right, let's see if it works this time. Ignition on. Yeah, look at that. 12 volts. That is awesome. Look at that. 12 volts straight here. I can charge things now. Yo. Hey, that's all working. Power bank is charging up. Amazing. So that was a good success after all. I thought I had failed somehow, but all good in the end. Let's go. All right, it's time to finish up the taillight, and the original stock bracket that came stock goes onto here with the plate. It actually sits too far up because it's not flush with the plate. So this license plate light actually doesn't really shine on it, so that's not that good. Trying to work out a different way. The other option was to steal this off my dad's stock CB250, and it doesn't screw on from the front, so it's a lot more flush. As you can see, a little bit more flush. It's not a standard size. You would have to drill different holes in your plate to fit it. That would work all right, and it comes with the reflector, so the cops aren't gonna give me trouble. But I went around Bendigo for a bit. I found this from that guy who has that street in Bendigo with a million all bikes. And the way I'm gonna fit it is drill holes through here, fit the plate over the top. I'll have to raise it with a couple washers, and then you got the reflector, and I'll put my L plate. I know I've been on my L's for like 3 years, but I'll get off them soon. But I'll sandwich it in there somewhere. That should be all right. I mean, it doesn't look as good as this, but you can't actually direct bolt your plate on here, unfortunately. Bit more bulky than what I like, but I'll sort something better out long term for this anyway. All right, well, here's the part I'm scared about because I really don't want to stuff it up. There's no undo button in this. Easy. Look at that, all done. Now a bit of surgery to polish it up a little. Perfect fit. So got a washer, screw, just chuck the nylock bolts on the back and we're good to go. All right, look at this, good as new. So we just got these 2 screws, washers on the outside and inside, and then 2 nylock bolts each, and that is perfect. Good as new, should be staying on. It's pretty solid, and I'm pretty happy with this job as well. I mean, it's a shame it extends down so far. Like, what's the point of having this whole tail tidy if it doesn't really tidy it up? But far better than what it was before, so I'm happy with that. And it's good to sink a bit of work into something that looks clean. Here we are, people, plate at night. Look at that, perfect. It actually looks pretty good and nice and bright. But overall, I'm very happy with that. I don't usually put this much time into stuff. It's satisfying having it done proper, done solid. So I was about to try and take off the spring on the kickstand because it was a little stiff, but I just got a ton of WD-40, sprayed it over, and good as new. Anyway, a couple things to finish before the bike's done. Just gotta move the shifter positioning down a bit and the brake lever, and then quick oil change, filter change, get the airbox that I've cleaned back in, and we should be good to go. All right, that's much better position there. I like it. To change the brake position, there's like the most inconveniently placed circlip. Yes. And now should be able to rotate it, I guess. Yeah, there we are. That'll bring this front bit down, and then we lower this sensor. Oh, what the fuck? Yo, you're not meant to do that. Need to figure out how to get this thing back on. Maybe if I just take off this bolt. That's easy. Slip it back in. Hopefully we don't have to adjust the play so that the brake light will come on. Shit, I just screwed my finger. Not too stuck, just a little bit. Let's see if it's triggered the brake light circuit. Yeah, that's got brake light on. It's not what we want. So we need to bring it down a bit lower. So I think we just need to wind it down a bit so it won't be pulling as much on this little spring here. Not quite as taut across this spring. Now time to get my bike together and add the final touches. Now not only did my bike get serviced by myself, I had also taken it to an actual mechanic the week before, and I've had new tyres and a bunch of other stuff. There we are, about to make a mess everywhere. Oh, fuck. Where? No way I dropped that shit in. I always seem to forget how much oil I've already put in as I'm doing it, so at least I'm filming this time. 2400 mils with the filter. All right, 500 in. Just putting in the remaining 400 mils. Now we're just gonna run it through for a minute. All right, now the real fun part is finding a place for this beautiful old oil. Might chuck it in this water bottle that I've been using for the past month. I'll have to find a new one, sadly. Oh shit. Can always make a mess everywhere. Check out these lovely beverages here. If any of you guys are after a good beverage, $5 each. Just look at this. Why wouldn't you want this? Right, so we're pretty much done with all the mods. Final thing is I got this Acerbis front fender tool bag. I just stock it up, so I got leverage things, tire changer kit. I've got some chain lube, bike pump, spark plugs. I'll sort out a few more tools. Also love how this bag looks on the bike. Makes it look real adventure-y, you know? Got the tire levers in there. Got our little patch kit, bit of that chain lube. Hopefully this all fits. And we also have a little pouch here. So I've got spare fuse, some screws, and just some of these connectors, because I know my job might not hold up. We'll see how we go. All right, that's all good. And we just chuck it on here. Ta-da! Do have to make sure it's tightened up, because that's the only thing stopping it from flinging off on the highway are these straps here. And the final modification is this little caliper lock here. Make sure no one steals the bike. It's got a little alarm. That's nice, good. Officially everything's done. Oh my gosh, I'm ready to leave. But no, we gotta pack all this camping gear. Look at that. And while I was shopping for parts for this bike, I couldn't help buy this for myself. Even though I was already spending way too much money, I was like, hold up, that's me. But yeah, it's literally looking like me. We got the tool bag, I'm gonna have that, I'm gonna have a backpack, I'm gonna have this bike and all these mods. Pretty cool. I mean, I really couldn't help but just get this. Like, the most irresistible buy ever. And I'm pretty good with my money. Time to get all our camping gear sorted. And I don't want to be too brand kind of focused. I did a lot of research when getting all these. I spent a decent amount of money, but I'm not gonna like be one of those YouTuber reviewers that are just annoying, who are just always reviewing stuff. I might go more in depth over what I bought in the next video, because it's kind of showing it in the field. So I got my down sleeping bag, self-inflatable camping mat. I got like a little hiking tent, very compact this one. And I actually got a pillow, because previously camping, I've never had much comfort, and this doesn't take too much room, so why not? I've aimed for just the bare essentials for my sleep setup. I've got everything I need and no more, which that's another thing. I'm trying not to go overboard, trying to just use the bare minimum. These all fit in here. So look at that, everything compacts pretty well into this not too big back of the bike bag. That is impressive. That's all I need to sleep. I'll try and fit in some clothes as well. Now for my main clothing items, I've got a good down jacket. We've got a merino hoodie thing. Got just the merino long sleeves, merino leggings, and then just 3 pairs of merino socks, gloves, a criminal outfit, balaclava thing, neck warmer, and then I've also got this fleece I bought as well. And that's just the basic clothes that I've got. I'll bring like a couple shirts and whatnot. You can just keep these on rotation. If I need to stop at a laundromat and get everything washed, in a day on my travels, I can just do that. That's all of my sleeping stuff and most of my clothes. Just fits right in here. Look at that, that's all good to go. Pretty light. Gonna try out these good elastic kind of travel straps. Just buckle straight on and you can just unclip it easy. And we just go through here like that. And that clips on like so. Amazing. I'm not sure if I'll bring this other bag, but it would be nice to have somewhere to put food and other bits and bobs throughout the day. And that way it's a bit easier to access as well. All right, I guess that's all right. And here we have everything else that I should need, the bare minimum. So I've got 2 power banks, one of them solar, the other one I can charge from the bike because of that modification I did. Then we got a head torch, a weapon of mass destruction, this little knife here, sunglasses, I got my watch, then we got just a basic first aid survival kit if anything goes wrong. Little compass, can't forget the map of Australia because I'm gonna need it. And we're going luxury, I got an adjustable sleeping mask from Anaconda. Look at this, not too bad. Almost as good as my one from Kmart. It's got a little microfiber cloth for cleaning and stuff. A skin bag so I can hide my valuables on my body a bit better. Obviously my camera gear, so the Pocket 4 case and accessories, and then I've got action camera, accessories and gadgets inside here. And we should be able to get this nice and compact into the backpack. I was really aiming for just the essentials so it can have the least weight and the most amount of fun, you know? So we're just gonna pack anything that needs weather protection into this medium dry bag here. We got the power banks, the Pocket 4 case, head torch, and maybe these little cables. Bit of vacuum seal in there. Now I'm gonna pop some of the other stuff into this smaller dry bag, just for simplicity's sake, keep it organized. All right, look at that, not bad at all. And now we just pack everything away into my bag. Put these 2 little dry bags in here. I'll put my maps in my bag as well. And then my neck warmer and criminal mask can just go on the top. The sunnies, nice and accessible. Got a backpack rain protector as well. Stuff it in there. And apart from a few extra things in here, some money, lighter, that's an important one. I think that's about it. It's all good to go. Now this is much lighter than I expected. One thing I still need is a water bladder of some sort and some food. Otherwise, we're all set to go. Chuck on my GoPro accessories here. All right, look at that, we're all set. I've literally got everything I need to like be able to go on the road for weeks. All I need is food, water, fuel, and stop and wash my clothes at places. But otherwise, I can just keep on surviving. That's crazy. I could go to the whole country. I go around the whole country. I could go to a whole different country if I go on a boat. Here you can see, I'm all set up. Exciting. This feels like a brand new motorcycle and I've got everything I need pretty much. I'm gonna go and test it. Well, what a fun video. Thanks for sticking along. This is very exciting. If you stay tuned, either tomorrow or the day after, I'm gonna just head off. I'm just going. I'm getting out of here. So if you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments. Don't worry about all that subscribing, liking nonsense. Just let me know because I had a lot of fun. I've been trying to smash it out, all this work, but I started on Sunday and it is now Friday. So it took a little longer than expected. I mean, when you're doing stuff like this, you at least gotta times it by 4 on how long you expect it to take. I'm gonna test it out. It's gonna go well. Stay tuned for more videos. I'm going on adventures. I'm just gonna hit the road. We're going south first. We're going down to the Great Ocean Road, then we're gonna just keep going. I don't know, I'll work it out as we go. Anyway, see ya next time.